Okay. I think that's working. I don't feel like setting up YouTube studio. So yeah, it's been a week maybe. Maybe it's been a week. I don't even know. um I have been a little bit busy. I have been tired. I made, because my desk is adjustable, I made it as adjustable as possible towards the floor. I'm now lying on my floor. But my desk it doesn't go low enough that I can sit on the floor and play with my keyboard and mouse. And I still don't have a chair. I mostly likely won't even get a chair. And so I'm just on the floor right now. In terms of things I can do from the floor, it's this. I can talk. I'm hoping that the mic, I assume the mic levels are okay because of the gain and stuff. At a glance, looking down, I can kind of see that it looks okay. Yeah, I think the only thing I can do right now is if I play on my Wii U and I play Harvest Moon, because when you play on the the GBA emulators on the Wii U, it shows it on the D-pad as well as on the screen. And so if I change the audio settings, it can capture. Sorry, it can capture just the Elgato, and then I can still play that way. But to be completely honest, I don't even know if I feel like playing Harvest Moon right now. Because now that I'm lying on the floor, it's kind of comfy. I stubbed my toe really, really hard into essentially the wall. Yeah, now my toe really hurts. It's the smallest toe, so it's apparently used for balance all the time when you take steps, and so it just perpetually hurts. Yeah, I did it yesterday, the stubbing, and that was yesterday, and now today it's very, very red. Because immediately after I stubbed it, I tried to put an ice pack on it, and it just hurt. It hurts so much. Yeah, I'm not exact. Yeah, yeah, kind of clumsy, you know. uh, should I get a wireless keyboard just so I can play from the floor? I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I feel like that feels so not great though. Nice keyboard on the desk, me on the floor, or potentially if I move where my bed is, me on the bed. Oh, actually, maybe I could pull my bed over and use it as a chair. Man, I don't feel like doing that right now. I'm so comfy on the floor. Yeah, I don't know. Let's not do that. Have What else is there to talk about? Because this is just me rambling, you know? Because the stream is just question mark titled because I didn't even know what I wanted to do. It doesn't really matter though. Anyways, I think I mentioned it last time, or if I didn't, I guess I'll just say it again. I recently got a whole bunch of seeds, even though summer's ending, and it was just okay, but why not, kind of. And so I what is it? I soaked a bunch, not a couple, a bunch of the the sugar peas. And I planted them into planters, and the ones that are in the planters, not all of them grew, probably because they're old seeds, which is okay with me because like I didn't get them at full price or anything close to full price even. So it didn't feel too bad. But I planted a decent amount like in the ground, like in the yard, right? And these freaking squirrels, they keep eating all my seeds. And the worst part was I saw a lot of the remnants. Those assholes ate half of the seed, even though it started growing, like I saw rooting, and they just left it there. They didn't even finish it. So it's like they're fucking taunting me of like, oh, your seed sucks. But it's like, why are you eating the seeds anyways? Like, I'm sure there's plenty of other like nature food. Like, I'm pretty sure there's acorns everywhere. Like, stop eating my stuff. I didn't put it there for you. Like, I literally covered it with dirt. Why are you eating my stuff? Anyways, that's squirrels have always been a menace. Like, I understand that it's like, you know, outside nature happens, whatever. But it's like they seem to always ruin stuff in the garden when it's like there's plenty of other, like, you know, like, how did you guys survive without the humans planting stuff outside before? You're like we didn't always plant stuff, you know, like, sure, it's been a long time, but like, god damn it, leave my garden alone. Like there were years where there would be like tomatoes in the yard or like grapes in the yard or like fruit, and those assholes would fucking like eat them before they're anything remotely close to like being grown, let alone like ripe, right? And yeah, they did the same thing. It was just like they'd take 2 bites of it, like, you know, they'd pick it off, bite it off, whatever. 2 bites, drop it on the ground. So it's like, not only are they not enjoying it, but they're not even letting, like, you know, the gardeners or the humans enjoy it either. They're just fucking ruining it. It's so annoying. It's like, apparently, I've only heard of this. I've never done it. But squirrels would potentially leave your yard alone if you feed them. But it's like, why am I being subject to like the freaking like squirrel tax? You know, like, I have to go get you peanuts? What do you mean? Whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's okay. Maybe I'll have to figure out what taxes to pay to the that I owe to the squirrels for next year. At least the summer is ending, so it's like, you know, I didn't have super high hopes with growing any of the peas, but like, I guess it just felt really bad to just see the half-eaten seeds, especially because they were rooting. Like, I soaked them so they could root faster and be okay. And the freaking squirrels just like murdered them. Like, I'm pretty sure I planted it, like, so earlier I said I planted it in planters and in the ground. In the ground, I planted it in 2 spots. I think they completely wiped out the other spot I planted it in, and they did 1/2 of like, you know, the first spot in the ground. And so I have a couple in planters, and then just like a couple in the ground, and it's like, why did you have to ruin all of this for me? I mean, like, now that I have a couple growing, I have to figure out how to like have them grow because like they kind of grow as like vines. But yeah, I have no idea how I'm gonna have them climb because right now I have not really stuff for them to climb on. So that's the next problem, I guess. For a lot of the spots, I actually put more than like 1 seed with the intention of like, you know, there's no way all 3 are gonna grow. But it turned out, I think that kind of worked out well because the squirrels would like dig up like the spots. And so there's just like clusters of 2, 3 like peas that are growing, and then just like almost none that are by themselves. And so I guess the ones that, got half eaten were essentially decoys, though they weren't. They were sacrificed. That's what it was. They were sacrificed for the others to survive. It's definitely not what I had planned. Because when I planted them, in most of the spots I put like 2, 3, or if the seeds were like a super super pale yellow, which I don't really know much about, and so to me it's like, is this pea gonna grow? I don't think so. And so if it were like super pale ones, I put like 4 of them in one spot, and so there's like clusters of 2, 3. I don't think I've seen a cluster of 4, even though I know that I had some spots where I put 4. But yeah, like one idea that crossed my mind was like, maybe I should just like dig it up and separate them out. But I think that'd like shock the seed and therefore it just die, because like they're not super established. It's like tiny spread. Like they're just starting to like see green in the sun. Like it's not even like a leaf yet. So I think if I dig it up now, it'll just kill the plant. So I can't. But if I wait until the plant has like, a leaf, it'll be established at that point. So like moving it then would kill it too. So I guess they're just stuck the way they are. And in an ideal world, maybe I'll get like 1 pea out of this adventure. I mean, it's like the end of August now, so be happy with what you get, I guess. I was impressed that any of them grew at all, so that was nice. I just like was expecting that they wouldn't grow because the seeds were old, not because half of 2/3, maybe 2/3 of my freaking seeds were just eaten by squirrels. So whatever, I guess it can't be helped. Yeah. Yeah, that was my soapbox. What else has been going on? Uh, Summer's ending, so I think a majority of the places that have ice cream are gonna stop being as. It's gonna be less common or easy to find ice cream, which is unfortunate. It is what it is. Um, I actually don't know yet, but it's very likely that I will not be able to stream anymore. Like, very, very likely I won't be able to stream anymore, which is kind of a bummer. That's like, I received a model from, I want to say Mew, but I'm like, the way the letters that are there, it's Mew. But anyways, I received this model from the artist that also like rigged it, and so I really wanted to use it a lot more. But since I think I'm not gonna be able to stream anymore, I guess the poor model is just gonna be shelved, because it's like, it's one thing that like I had to be on my computer in order to use the live 2D model, right, with the webcam and everything. Because like I don't use my phone for it. I use my webcam. Because like I never use my webcam anyways. I literally only have it like plugged in because of live 2D. But it means that I have to be at my computer. And for quite a while now, I haven't had a chair. Even before I moved, the last place I was, I didn't have a chair. And even the place before that, I didn't have a chair. I had like a yoga ball. And so it actually wasn't that comfortable, especially because my posture is bad. And you would think, the yoga ball is supposed to help with that. But actually, I don't think it did at all. I think it kind of made it worse. So it was always hard for me to use the model. But now impending doom is that I just won't be able to use my mic when I stream. like at all. And so I think at that point it's like, if you can only stream in silence, I don't feel like it's as, I feel like it's borderline impossible to like, feel like someone is interacting with you. So yeah, I guess it's doomed, which is quite unfortunate. Because like for the last like month, I actually have like been able, like setting wise, to be able to stream so long as like, there isn't just like fires of disaster, dumpster fires to put out, right? And so it's like it's taken a while, but when I am able, I have streamed and I've been able to stream, and that's felt very, very nice. But I think that's about to go away, which is a little disheartening. Maybe it's maybe it's time for me to go look into potentially getting a cat, because if I can't have stream be like, having company, then maybe I should get a cat. But I don't know. I know that like just off of those two sentences, it's like, wow, that's a really stupid reason. But I've actually been thinking about it for a while. I just hadn't like been able to, for like various reasons, variety of reasons. So yeah. Wow, this is like the most talking I've done in a while. Usually, the reason why like I can't really stream for super long, like like normal streamers do, like I like you just talk and talk and talk. I just don't talk very much unless I'm like asked things. And so when I'm trying to stream, it's actually kind of hard for me to like just come up with conversation topics and just like go with it. One, because it's like I love silence, and two, because it's like even if I somehow can think of topics, I tangent off of them very easily. And so I worry that like I start talking about like, I don't know, A, halfway through A, I start talking about B. Somehow I go back to A, but then I start talking about C. You know? I don't know. It is what it is. I mean, I've thought about it a lot. And it's like, is this like a good thing, good habit to have? And I honestly think that the answer is no. But I also kind of look around on like Twitter and stuff, and it's like, am I truthfully trying to stream because I want to like, I don't know, grow numbers, grow an ego? My answer to that is also no. And so I go back to the first question of like, is this a bad habit? Like, yeah, I think it is, even outside of like streaming. But I don't think it matters, because like for me, the reason why I like the idea of streaming, it's like if I want to, I can talk. Right? It's not like I'm required to stream. I'm not even required to talk in order to stream. It's just I feel that's like, how it should be. But, since I look at this as like something just for fun, heck, I'm just gonna do it how I wanna do it. Yeah. That's pretty much it. Yep. So streams might be doomed. I mean, actually, a large part of why I started streaming, because even before like having like creating this whole ass like YouTube channel, um, I actually had like did completely silent streams on like Twitch, because how should I say this? Sometimes when I was in school, I'd have this problem where I couldn't focus unless I had something playing. But then I would get frustrated when it had like, you know, a certain track looped enough times. It's like it drives me crazy some days of like I can't just listen to the same track over and over. And so like the obvious answer is like, okay, pick another track. But I would be already frustrated with like, you know, the loopingness, and so the second track, it would just be a poisoned well as like I just don't want to listen to it. Right? But I also didn't want silence. And I didn't want to have like a show playing because I have this problem when like if I have a show playing, it's really, really hard for me to just ignore the show. Especially if there's like talking. So like, you know, the idea, because I know there's like some people that can kind of just like rewatch shows over and over again. Like I kind of understand that there are certain anime that I can just watch over and over again, but even when I'm rewatching it, I don't just like completely not pay attention to it. I am still like watching it still, right? But my problem in university was like I was looking for background, but I didn't want like background that made me feel like I was going crazy because it was looping. And so I like stumbled into some like YouTube channels where they just played Harvest Moon. Like there was no talking, it was just the game music. And I actually found that quite nice because it's like sometimes I just don't want to listen to someone talking. That's actually a lot of the time, honestly. But yeah. So because, you know, that's what I'd stumbled into before, and I was like, well, I thought it was nice. I don't think it really caught on to anyone because those videos of people playing like Tree of Tranquility, and maybe it was Animal Parade. I can't remember. It was one of the two of them. They didn't actually like have a whole bunch of views on it, but for me, it was just like this is what I wanted. So you know, the algorithm was kind, I guess. And so yeah, seeing those from before, that's actually what kind of made me start with like, you know, doing completely silent streams. And then at some point I realized that like it was really hard to do honestly streams in general because like my attention span is actually quite short. And so unless I'm like super super interested in something, I can only kind of do stuff for like half an hour, and then I need to like get up and do something else and then come back to it. That's not really how streams work. And then especially if you like have a quiet, like, you know, completely silent stream, like they're just gonna listen. They're just gonna like see a gray screen. It's just like that doesn't sound like a good idea. And around that time, I kind of like got a mic too, because I was tired of like I was I was using my webcam as a mic for a really long time. So I was tired of like joining calls with like people I knew and them just being like, wow, that is some like potato quality. And I'd just be like, yeah, it is. And I thought about it, and I was just like, well, I guess streaming is kind of fun. I'll just get a mic. So I got a mic. And honestly, I never really had the passion or like, you know, the dedication to set up like the mic settings, like so like the gain and noise gate and stuff like that. I managed to do it eventually, but it did take a long time. And frankly, even now, I don't know if I even set it up correctly, which is funny to me, anyways. I find it funny. Yep. Yep. This one, you know what's also really funny is the reason why I switched from Twitch to YouTube was because I acknowledged that I had no interest in like, you know, how should I say this? Trying to grow. Yeah. I had no interest in trying to grow. it's not that I would be opposed to it, it's that I feel like a lot of people when they, or my opinion, my assumption is, I feel like a lot of people when they start off streaming, they kind of like, tell their friends or their family about it as to like, not start from zero. But I actually really want like, I guess my online life to be as separated from like, I like my things to be separated as much as possible. Like, maybe this is just because of how I grew up, but like, I feel like if I like share stuff, that it's just gonna get taken from me. And so I just don't like to share stuff. And so like when I admitted that to myself, of like, yeah, I'm probably not trying to grow. I'm not trying to actually be a streamer. Switched over to YouTube because it was just like, at least if I do this stuff on YouTube, the video remains afterward, and so it can be someone, maybe someday it can be someone's background noise. The same way that like, one channel was with like the Harvest Moon games. For me, And it's like, will this be successful? Like, there's literally like the whole reason why I started this, the case study, like the science experiment, the data is right there. And of course it's not. So, that's kind of when I admitted that I'm just doing this to have fun. Or at least what I think is fun. So, yeah. I guess I just wanted to talk about all of that before what I think is the inevitable end of being able to like talk on stream. I would still be able to like play as long as it's silent, but yeah, it's just gonna be scuffed. It's okay. It's a-okay. I'll figure it out. I mean, at the end of the day, like, it's gonna feel sad that I can't, like, logically often. I can't, like, I'm not gonna be using my mic or talking at all. I wouldn't be able to use, like, this reactive PNG. Wouldn't really be able to use, I mean, technically I'd be able to use it, the live 2D model, but it'd just be like weird because it's like I'd be standing at my desk just like kind of moving around, and it's just quiet because my mic would be off, so you wouldn't even be able to hear the obnoxiously loud keyboard or mouse that I have. It'd just be silent, I just don't really think it'll work out, which is a shame. But, sometimes things just work out that way, and that's okay. Not everything's gonna be optimal. Definitely the last 2 years, three years of my life definitely have been suboptimal. But it's okay. Sometimes it feels like a lot. But that's when you just go and eat something. And when you eat something and maybe, stare at some plants outside, then it feels a little more okay again. Yep. I think I'm like actually out of things to talk about now. My floor hurts. Okay. Yeah. Wow, it's only been half an hour. I feel like I've been talking for a million years. This is actually always how it is when I stream. It's like, I feel like I run through all of my ideas as to what to talk about, and then it's just like, oh, it's been 10 minutes. Oh, it's been half an hour. Oh well. My room's a mess still. I think that's going to be a perpetual problem I have. It's not like it's like, excuse me. It's not like it's like, inhabitable. It's just that I have laundry I haven't put away. My laptop currently doesn't have a home, so it's just sitting on the floor. Yeah. Quite normal, I think. I think eventually I do want another shelf. Maybe two. and I just love shelves. I have this problem. Okay, this is total tangent, but I have this problem where it's like I really, really love what is it? I have a weird like I like IKEA, but I kind of also don't like IKEA. Like I love IKEA because it's like it gave me options to decorate my room, even when like, I didn't have a whole lot of money. But another part of me is like, I wish there was like a way for it to be nicer, I guess. But it's like I understand it's like affordable because it's not the highest quality, but I wish there was an option for it to be higher quality, I guess. I don't know. I have it's probably like it just goes against logic because it's like you just have two different lines, right? And so you can't have a brand that's known to be affordable, but then like that same brand also have like they'd have to like literally create another like name for themselves, and they'd have to, instead of like creating a second line under the like IKEA name, they'd have to like create another company and be like, this is a sister company, because otherwise I don't think it makes sense. Like I have a Kallax. Here's the thing. Like I was so like into and like happy with IKEA stuff that like I kind of spent a lot of time inside of IKEA's. And if it's a certain line, I actually, when I look at it, just like, I know what you are. Like Kallax's for sure. Like that one's just very basic. Um, but there's a bookshelf. There's a bookshelf line called the Billy, or like not the Billy, but like it's just named Billy. And so I walk through IKEA and it's like, do I want a tall Billy? Do I want a thin Billy? Do I want a tall thin Billy? Do I want a short Billy? And so it's gone to this point where it's like, to me, I still find it very funny. But even as I'm finding it funny, I wonder, like, I guess I'm self-conscious as to like how it looks to other people. What else was there? There is I might be saying this wrong. I don't even care, right? This is how I've always said it. The Mickey desks, that was definitely a desk that I had before because it was just like something I could actually afford to buy that gave me a desk. And I didn't, for a really, really long time, I didn't even have a desk. So that's why it was just like IKEA being the way that I could have a desk, it was just like, yes. And it was just like, yes. I was just like so happy with it. But I feel like even though the IKEA furniture is affordable and depending on where you live, easy to obtain, how should I say this? It kind of is not long term, like the desk itself kind of falls apart slowly, and if you try to move it around a lot, it doesn't really last. Yeah, it just it's like I understand you can't have everything. You can't have something be cheap, be high quality, and be fast. I learned there was like a little triangle thing that my old like architecture and art history teacher told me. And, like that's she taught the whole class that, honestly. It's a little triangle, you can only have two sides of the triangle, and the edges, each one of them represent a different thing. Will it be fast? Will it be affordable or like cheap? Or will it be quality? And so, yeah, it's I understand that. Like now I do. that IKEA is it's cheap and it's fast, but it doesn't really have high quality, so therefore, unless you're using it like never, it doesn't really last. Which is kind of disheartening, because it's also like, when I try to look at things that are quality and that live longer, it's like, whoa, that's really expensive. So it's like, man. So this, it's just like, oh, okay, I can not even afford to get a dresser, which is disheartening, but yeah. My room is, once again, mostly IKEA things, actually. It is what it is, though. Can't be helped. Maybe when things are in a better spot, I can figure something else out. Moving randomly was definitely not my plan. I didn't really have much of a plan, but I wasn't really expecting to do so much change in like such a short period of time, But that's life, I guess. I'm actually gonna go. I mean, like I said earlier, this might be the last stream where I'm talking. depending on how things work out. Or if it's not literally the last one, maybe it's just gonna like drop off to be like once every 2 months or something. Like the stars, it'll go back to like being that the stars have to align in order for me to like talk on stream. But I will decide internally within myself, whatever, if I think it's worth it to try to stream and just be silent. Who knows? Who knows? We'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. Maybe. Maybe not. Who knows? But either way, for, a variety of reasons, I do think streaming is fun. So I hope it's not the last time I'll be able to, but if it is, it can't be helped. Well, I guess that's all for me, so good night!